Well, hello there. Have you heard about COBE Talks? Well, if not, get ready. I think you're going to be really excited about what's to come.
My name is Jacoby Woods. I'm a senior marketing student from Raleigh, North Carolina, and today I'll be auditioning for COBE Talks. So right now I'm feeling great. Honestly, I feel excited to be a part of this opportunity. This is something that I've actually already started working on, and so having the opportunity to showcase what I've been working on in front of a bigger audience to help impact my peers. I'm super excited and grateful for the opportunity. Honestly, yes, just a little bit of a nervousness, mainly because, it's something that I'm super excited about, super passionate about as well. And I want to make sure that I showcase what I've been working on well and hopefully, pitch something to the audience that they can actually take away and implement into their lives. So for me, it's not nervousness as if I'm scared to perform, but it's just, I really care about it, and I want to make sure that people are able to take something valuable away from it. So that's where it comes from. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina, born and raised. I'm definitely first generation. My mom and dad didn't go to college, but they definitely they wanted me to pursue it as I graduated. They knew how important education was, how important it was for me to develop as a young man in America. So that's kind of how I was able to, get out of high school and go straight into pursuing college. So right now we're going down to Merrick Auditorium, room 125. So we're gonna go down there. That's where we'll be auditioning at. So. For me, I'm super competitive, but at the end of the day, I'm supportive of everyone. So I'm going to be here cheering on everyone, supporting them, listening to everything that they have to present. So for me, I'm competitive, but in an environment like this, we're all family, and I just want to see everyone succeed.
Getting ready. Well, there should be maybe 4 more students that are supposed to be here. And then we'll get started. I'll give you all the rundown of how we're gonna do this afternoon. We'll probably be in here a good 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour at max, if that. And we're gonna run this like this. I want y'all to think of this as an open audition. So whether you feel like you're on Broadway right now, or Carolina Theater Stage, or Harrison Auditorium, just put yourself in that mindset, and then I'll tell you all more about where this idea came from, what we're looking for, and then where we're going. Good? All right, so we'll give it another 4 or 5 minutes, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, I'm feeling real good. I think when it comes to competition, I embrace it, but at the same time, I don't see it. I'm coming here today. I know what I bring to the table, so I'm confident and excited. The work that you put in doesn't guarantee any type of result, but I do think I'm a type of person who embodies the qualities of COBE when it comes to putting in the time, when it comes to your process, in order to achieve the goals that you want to. So what I'm bringing to the table is real actionable steps for change, and I think that there's something that everybody can take away moving forward from what I have to say.
So I have a script that I'm going to follow, talking about purpose and kind of readjusting and realigning after losing your plan and when the plan breaks. That's kind of the title of my little monologue that I'm delivering today. And it's speaking from my personal experience that I think a lot of A&T students, especially A&T students, can kind of recognize. We go through trials and tribulations, especially here at this age on this campus. And I think it's really important to know how to navigate mistakes instead of internalizing it and using that as motivation.
So good afternoon. Welcome to COBE Talk. I had this idea to look at how can we feature students in a setting that puts them at the front of the stage, gives them the spotlight, allows them to come on in, welcome. Talk about their ideas, talk about things that are related to how we can help impact society from the lens of a business and economics student. So what this experience will be is going to pick 3 students for this semester. This will be your stage. So we will have this room set up. And so I wanted to be able to create a space for you all to have that opportunity. What we'll do today is it's gonna be sort of an open audition. So everybody will come down. You'll have 2 to 3 minutes to share sort of a synopsis, if you will, an executive summary of your business, not of your business pitch, I'm sorry, of your idea. But I want you to do it like you would do it if this room was filled to capacity and all the lights and cameras were on you. And so we'll go from there. Are there any questions? All right, action.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jacoby Woods. I'm a senior marketing student from Raleigh, North Carolina. And today, what I want to talk about is actually just a passion of mine. It's something that I've titled the domino effect. And it's something that I've actually already presented here on campus once before. But it's basically just a breakdown of my journey from me coming in as a freshman who didn't have guidance or who didn't have direction to developing myself to where I am today. To where I've had 4 internship opportunities in just 3 years, and then also recently a full-time offer. And this is not an opportunity for me to just talk about my success, but it's a way for me to share everything with my peers so that they can understand how I built myself from where I started to where I am now. Was not something that happened overnight. It was something that transpired with continuous consistency, continuous small steps, and just taking leaps of faith and asking for help. So this is something that no matter where anyone is in their journey, they can take from and use it as their next steps in their professional journey. So thank you.
I want to start by asking you to think about the thing people know you for. Not the thing you casually do, the thing that became your identity. The label that got you praise, the one that made you feel safe in rooms you weren't sure you belonged in. For me, that was being smart. And I don't mean that in a pig-headed way. It was, if there was somebody who was gonna do something or make it out, that had always been on me, on my back, coming from Detroit. And maybe for you, it's being dependable, talented, or you're the one who always has a plan. When something works long enough, it quietly becomes who you think you are. Before, when something didn't work, I took it personally. I would pull back, I would disappear and get quiet, convince myself I wasn't ready yet. But what I realized, especially at a school like North Carolina A&T, was that clarity doesn't come from getting everything right. It comes from staying in the room. And for my third point, I had to learn to separate my worth from my outcomes. That was the hardest one. For a long time, results were how I measured myself. Grades, wins, acceptances. So every outcome felt like a judgment on who I was. But when that decision-making became impossible because that worth was on the line, it gets really loud. That's all you hear. That loudness in your head is that disappointment. You kind of forget the successes you had previously. Sometimes the moment that doesn't feel like a setback is actually teaching you how to lead when things don't go as planned. And that's something you'll use for the rest of your life. Thank you.
Shoes, shirts, hats, socks, all voices that we have before we take our first or make our first handshake. So it's pretty clear to see that our clothes are our voices before we get to say anything, and that's how people judge us. So I'm gonna take you guys a little bit back in time. Before I was Justin Alford, the student here at A&T, I was Justin Alford, a kid from Raleigh, North Carolina with a unique individual style. One specific day after classes on campus, I have headphones in. You know how sometimes you'll just vibe out, but the music will stop. The people around you don't know that. So you could pick up on conversations that they might not know that you're aware of. I'm walking across this group of upperclassmen and I hear them say, "What does bruh have on?" They're upperclassmen. I'm a freshman, so I'm not gonna say anything, but it really bothered me because I thought when I got dressed this morning, I was doing something different and I was being true to myself. And then I realized a problem that most people don't realize, and that's a real lack of individuality, especially among our peers. What'll happen is you find yourself wearing the things that other people are wearing. Next thing you know, you're signed up for classes that other people are taking. You're going to a school that other people are going to. You're in a career that other people are in. And then when you look up, you're living a life that's not even yours. So clothes might seem small, but to us, and especially to my melanated community, we understand that this is a big way of self-expression. So with that, I was really thinking about what they were saying. He's not even fly. What is he wearing? And I'm thinking, I should be fly because I'm just doing me. It's in my own nature. So thinking about it, the play on the words, fly, nature, and then it hit me. A brand called Fly by Nature. Motto, celebrate yourself. Not one specific style, but more of a guide to give people the tools to create their own individual style. With that, 15 years old, no business knowledge, no resources, just an idea, but I fully believe, and sorry to get a little spiritual, but if God tells you to do it, that's the only proof that you need, that you can do it. So from there, sticking to it, learning the ways of the craft, learning the tools of the trade, and eventually created a celebrate yourself. If I could wrap it up in any way. Thank you, guys.
Today, I would like to present you with an idea that is better to help inspire, encourage, and foster the entrepreneurial spirit here at North Carolina A&T University and really encourage the Aggie Pride that we have here. So I thought of this, a service fair that allowed all the student small businesses here to kind of come together, allow to better promote their businesses here and get to know the people they're doing with. That way, we can not only allow the new students to better immerse themselves and create a life here at A&T, to let these small businesses give the opportunity to present themselves and show off their skills, as well as maybe show models that can share their same things. And lastly, build the Aggie Pride and let A&T be a place to where it encourages and innovates and inspires the different entrepreneurial spirits here of young students, small businesses. So thank you, have a good day.
Today, I want to talk primarily about the Black wealth gap, specifically through the lens of real estate. So as some of you may know, institutional buying of real estate has increased dramatically over the past 10 years. And with that being said, the amount of single-family homes that are actually being purchased by single families that live in them has decreased dramatically. And of course, as Black Americans, we have the lowest home ownership rate across the country. With that being said, I have a solution, and that's what I want to talk with you all about today. So the solution is a legal complexity called tenants in common. This allows for groups of 2 to 4 people to purchase residential properties and live in them for prices that are lower than the rent we're paying today, month by month, and build equity in those homes, which will dramatically decrease the Black wealth gap that we see today. So for example, for the sake of this conversation, we can say that each of us pays $1,000 a month in rentals. But over a 3-year span, that's $36,000 out of the drain and no equity was built. But think about if that $1,000 was spent on a mortgage. You leave college with $36,000 in equity, and that's really a life-changing start for a lot of us. So through having understanding of different products like FHA loans that are 3.5%, we can better position ourselves to change the narrative and revolutionize home ownership in America. Thank you.
I think they all did well. Did a great job of presenting their thoughts. And all that presented, they all presented different thoughts and ideas, and it really shows how diverse one school can be.
Again, I think they all did well. The diversity of their thoughts is refreshing. You know, they all weren't talking about the exact same thing. Just even in this moment, they all presented with good stage presence, good tone, good engagement. And, you know, we're really looking for 3 individuals in this round that just have really strong presence and interesting topics. So, and their connection to the audience, I think that there could be some strong potentials. So I think we got a good pool to select from for this go round.
You know, I feel good. I knew I was gonna go over time, but something I could work on. But it just comes from, I think the opposite of that is not being able to talk about it enough. It's really passionate of mine, so I could have went on and on. I'm glad he did give me the cutoff because I would probably still be up there talking.
I feel like it was good. For me, I think the main thing for me was just like taking a deep breath before I started, and then making sure I was speaking with confidence. Typically, I can kind of speak fast, so I think it went well. I took my time, got to all my points, so it was good.
Jacoby, Dylan, and Malcolm, if the 3 of you all would stay. Ms. Marriott, thank you. Mr. Alfred, thank you. I'll follow up with the 2 of you all by Wednesday. Thank you both.
Thank you again.
You're welcome. And I appreciate the lookout.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yes, sir. I'm feeling good. I'm just feeling good and just leaving it all there. You know, I actually had, I'm a online student now. Dr. Caldwell, a message, an email, just, you know, kind of in my head about the opportunity and just thinking, you know, it might be different for people that live on campus or in Greensboro, but I literally had to come an hour and 30 just for this short session. So I just wanted to make sure it was something that I could really contribute to and be an asset. And I think I did. So, you know, I think I would have lived with regret if I wouldn't have made this trip. And I would have always wondered what if, but whether I get it or not, I did my job. So yeah. I'm satisfied with that. At the end of the day, we just leave it all on the stage. I automatically assume that I didn't get it. I'll be honest, I automatically assume, but not mad, just understanding. It's no different from an audition in any other casting thing. So just respecting the process. And like I said, if I don't, I was just proud of myself for coming and giving it my best. So I think everything will happen the way it's supposed to.
If this sounds crazy, I low-key kind of just came here to see, like, why not? Like, I'm pretty involved in COBE, so it's kind of like, it's just a thing. I honestly didn't really think too much about it because I was too busy talking to the freshman, actually, just kind of giving him some COBE advice on, like, how to navigate. So honestly, I'm cool either way. I'm gonna be here, so yeah. I don't know. It was really just kind of like, I just kind of went back to my conversation. I honestly probably could have focused a lot more on, like, my preparation of this. I had a lot going on. Like, I was knee deep in homework. So I kind of just, like, put together everything. I was like, well, I could memorize it, or I could try to get an A out this class, or I could go up there and public speak the way I have done in the past. You know what I mean? Which is, like, you know, the occasional glance down, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of was just like, you know what, let me just kind of do what I always do and kind of wing it. So I did that. I wrote down points I wanted to make, and yeah.
Dylan, do me a favor this time and leave your portfolio down. Action. Great. What are your thoughts? Give me a order. It's on 1, 2, 3.
Based on like stage presence and topic. I feel like everyone did a great job, especially like improv with what they were given. And thinking about what they did before, this go around honestly just made it harder to decide.
Of that last bunch, Mr. Bilal, you're good to go. I'll follow up with you by Wednesday. Dylan and Jacoby, I need y'all to hang around for one more minute. And we're gonna hear from Miss Olamide, right?
Yeah, I just go by Mide.
Midday?
Yeah, Mide.
Wait, Mire? You said Mire?
Mide.
Midday.
Yeah, Mide.
Midday.
Yes.
I'm phonetic. I gotta write this out. Midday. All right, so Midday is going next. And then I need to hear from the two of y'all again.
So my topic that I want to bring to the table, or COBE Talk, is about Black women in economics, Black women investing into the world and building generational wealth. So a part of my campaign in the beginning of the year was running for sophomore class treasurer. And although I didn't win, I made some promises that I was able to see fulfilled come spring semester. So my campaign was on the basis of financial literacy and Black wealth in the United States. as we actually had held the first financial literacy symposium hosted by Bank of America due to a partnership. And they were convinced that Black students are worth investing into. And I was able to connect with the head board of Bank of America in connection with North Carolina. And he had stated how he's willing to invest in us if we invest back into ourselves. So that is my biggest point. Some of the statistics I was able to find too was that Black families bring in the lowest amount of income in the United States. Of that demographic is Black women. However, Black women are the most educated demographic on the planet. So the disparity goes to show that you can have knowledge, but it has to be applicable. So that's essentially what I want to bring to the table. Something I realized was that I was one of the few women in the room, let alone the only one who was speaking when they were asking about financial concepts. So stuff like that you notice being the outlier amongst people who look like you. So that's something I want to diminish, and that's something I want to expose. We don't have to stay at the bottom. We don't have to be timid when we're asked about financial wealth. And there's topics that need to be talked about, and there needs to be someone who looks like that small percentage to get people comfortable. Thank you.
My initial thought is, why am I only doing 3 students right now? But, you know, it is clear to me that our students have some intellectual curiosity that the world needs to hear. So this is a great exploration. And thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you for. All right, Mr. Woods, and I'm gonna say your name wrong again. Tidmore. Did I say it right? All right. Again, 60 seconds. This time, I would like for you to talk about trees.
Okay. Trees, as simplistic as they do seem, I do think they represent and send a larger, greater message. From starting off as a little stump and going through different seasons and winters is a representation of the growth and the humanity and the toughness that we have as humans and as a society. They go through strong winters, hot summers, but yet still manage to grow and become have great big vines and branches and leaves and grow to become beautiful aspects of our society. Things that not only serve us humans, but help others, giving oxygen, having beauty, simplicity, as well as just being a nice Instagram background at it sometimes. So at the end of the day, I believe that trees serve a larger purpose, and honestly, they do a lot more than we take for granted. So thank you.
In terms of trees, recently I actually just completed an assignment in one of my online classes in liberal studies where we talked about deforestation. So I had to pick a topic relating to deforestation, and I talked about how not just in America, but worldwide, deforestation is one of the greatest threats to common society and to the world that we know today. And in terms of the way that humans have turned greedy in terms of clearing out space, clearing out forests, major forests that we need for life and that we need for pretty much just growth and prosperity, to have like fields and infrastructure and things like that for to increase wealth and to increase income. It kind of comes to me as a representation of how we need to treat each other, not only just the way we treat the world, because, you know, trees, they don't speak, they can't talk about their pain, they can't talk about their sorrow, but forests are being depleted every day, right? So I feel like it's a representation of how we also should treat each other. You know, the people that do the little things for us in our society that may not be speaking or have a large platform, we need to make sure that we're taking care of those people, making sure that we're giving them support, love, and that we're preserving their job as well. Thank you.
You'll get an email from me by Wednesday, letting you know where we're going. Please always remember this, not now doesn't mean never. So my goal is to have COBE Talk every semester. So, you know, we're trying to, for this iteration, just do 3. Y'all have made it very difficult, which is a good thing. So just be on the lookout for Wednesday. And then you'll get some more instructions from me about what's next. And then we will go from there. But I appreciate your time this afternoon. Thank you all for coming out. And thank you all for being willing to share your thoughts. It is much appreciated, and it is refreshing to me to hear your generation sharing and being willing to share to the rest of the world. So thank you all.
Yeah. Okay, nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you guys. I like how both of you guys were able to take the literal and transform it into the figuratively. Talking about him specifically, relating it to yourself, it's a lot easier to follow concepts or anything that might be simplified and make it intricate or find a deeper meaning when you can connect it to yourself in a way that wasn't initially thought of. So the way in which he was able to connect that to his coursework and something that he independently went out his way to talk about or relate to or just do further research on, it was refreshing to know that people aren't just spitting out ideas that they think others want to hear, but that those ideas or concepts relate to them.
Well, first, I really appreciate the feedback as well. Given that, it was like an impromptu speech that myself and Dylan had to do, just the fact that she was able to take something away from it just means a lot to me. So I just appreciate like her attentiveness to it, and just her giving me feedback on what her viewpoint was on it. So it's much appreciated.
I think I learned the importance of thinking on your feet, as well as kind of relating whatever is given to you, see if it can relate to your life as well as to the experience and life of others, and see if that translates a message for other people could take with them. But I thought yours was really well. I think it was really well spoken. I really admire, especially the fact that you can remember all the statistics. And I really related to it because, like, growing up, my mom was a black mom for a little. I'm a single mom, my bad. Well, black too, but still. She was a single mom for a little bit, and so I really related to that, and I really liked the material.
So for me, I would say that it was a great experience. Like the intensity was great because everyone came with great ideas. So and that's expected, like given the caliber of students that we have here at the school. But for me, it was just amazing to see the different students that have different perspectives and different topics that they're so passionate about. Because even when I'm with my friends and stuff outside of school, like we have a lot of conversations about different topics in the world. So seeing how everyone had a different passion relating to the world, relating to business, relating to their personal lives that they brought together to share, it was just really good to see.
It's never easy to come out and say what you're passionate about when you have the potential of someone to not maybe understand where you're coming from. But here at A&T, there's that culture here that you may not be able to personally relate. You can understand somebody else's passion and wanting to be heard in the world. So I think everyone did a good job, especially the two impromptu participants, because that's not easy to be given something and have to personally connect to it. That's not an easy feat. So I think it was great for us to all see each other, think on our feet, what we're passionate about, and just hold each other accountable as well. The amount of students in there, I came a little later, but it was few. So just to make sure we're all speaking up, even if it's not here, in whatever avenue other people are interested or passionate about.
Well, the process, it was very nerve-wracking, but I also really enjoyed like listening to other people's, because it was interesting to see their viewpoints, especially being older than me and like understanding more and like knowing more. And so I felt like the process was really nerve-wracking, but I appreciated it.
Yeah, I would just say for me, being a senior and graduating in May, I'm just super excited to see people coming like up through the school, being able to like just be confident what they believe in and speaking what was passionate on their heart, because little do you guys like realize it, like you guys are going to be like the examples for the school, so like you just being a freshman, like that's really big. So being able to step up and just be confident, and even if you're doing it like scared, because I know for me, I'm still nervous about doing things like this. So I'm stepping up and doing it. You guys are going to be like the example for the school. So just continue to keep doing it, keep encouraging everyone, because like you said, we need more people speaking up. We need more people attending events like this. So just continue to be that example, because you guys are doing great right now. Rejection
is just redirection. So even though one of us may or may not get this position, it's about the wins in life. So the fact that we all came out here, especially me as a freshman when I've been here. So the fact that he came out, it just goes to show the leadership. It doesn't have an age limit, an age cap, an age requirement. Keep coming out, keep sharing your stories, what you're passionate about, because somebody's gonna listen. Example for me, I ran for sophomore class treasurer and I didn't win, but Bank of America still came here and still gave the course that I campaigned on. So I realized that you don't have to have the position to have the influence.
I would just say making sure, like, even if you don't have confidence, just kind of have act like you do have it, and then you'll get it eventually, in my opinion. So.
So we have narrowed it down to probably the top 4. You know, what we're trying to do is also think about demographics, so representation, you know, whether, you know, it's overly skewed with just seniors or if there's a mixture of seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. And, you know, the reality of it is when you're doing an initial sort of inaugural event, it's really, it's hard to parse a large group down to just 1 or 2 or 3 individuals, you know, because the reality we always say is, well, if I could pick everybody, I would, but the reality is we really can't because you're trying to think about programming. You know, in my mind, I immediately started thinking about, right, if we had 4 or 5, then it means we're gonna have to extend the time frame, we're gonna have to increase the time for production. The program can't run for an hour, they have to go for 2 hours. Are people gonna wanna sit for that long? So there's just a lot of variables, but I think we've got our top 4, and we're just gonna narrow it down to the top 3. And either way we go, I think we're gonna have some really strong presentations. And again, I just think the thought processes that these students came in here with is just, you know, I think generations now and to come will benefit from. So, you know, I think we're in a good spot. You know, I think we want to keep you on edge. I think this is the anticipation of what these students will bring.
You got to give us something. Give us just,
you know,
was it anyone that? Give us a name, give us a subject. Can you just give us something or not?
No, I don't think we'll disclose that, but I will say that there were some students that just got up and had the presence. They had the trifecta, if you will. They had the stage presence, they had the content, and they had the audience engagement. And I think that was a selling point, if you will. And you know, I think that for some of the students, this is a great coaching opportunity. So if not on the main stage, could there be an opportunity to possibly have them speak in front of a class or do other things to help continue to build that up? So, you know, there were some very easy, I think, in terms of just our conversation, like, oh, they knocked it out the park.
And we can't get maybe initials or anything?
No, but you'll know a little bit more on Wednesday once we announce who the 3 individuals for the spring 26 COBE Talk will be, so stay tuned.
I want to give you some producer's notes and also some producer feedback. So that if you do make it to the next round, or if you are selected to go on stage, I want to tell you some things that I've noticed as a producer that served you very well. I'm not going to be critical, but I'm actually going to kind of talk about some things that I feel like you did very well. Let me first start with you. I thought your presentation was fantastic. One of the things that really struck me was your engaging to the camera, and then also your engagement to the audience. You didn't feel intimidated by the movement or the pan of the camera. You were very steady, but your engagement was extremely good, and you being able to connect with the audience, I thought served very well. So continue that in that. So I felt that was really good for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
And then for Jacoby, I think your overall presence, it's almost like you've done this before. I get a sense of you're not a novice at this. You're not a novice in front of the camera. You're not intimidated by the moment. You embrace it, you seize the moment, and you're very fluent in your responses. Of course, I interviewed you post audition, and I felt like that your answers was really good. You understood the assignment, if I could put it in those terms, and I felt like you were really good at that as well.
Thank
Very
you so
good.
much.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then for Dylan, number one, you're sharp. Your dress looks really good. The biggest takeaway that I got from you was you were very poised. I think initially it seemed like you were maybe a little timid, or like, okay, man, this is like the real deal. But the more you begin to talk, and then I think the second and third time that you took the stage, I felt your confidence increased every time. And so by the time you ended up talking about trees, I mean, the content was so powerful. And so I think you did an amazing job. What I would encourage you to do is make sure that you engage with the camera, make sure you engage with the audience. I think you're just generally have a very soft spoken, but really, speak with authority and confidence and let your voice echo. But I think overall you did a fantastic, your content was really, really good. And so I think from producer's perspective, you would be a top candidate. I did have a chance to kind of peek over at the judges tallying, and I think all three of you all ranked pretty good. So hopefully we'll see you guys in the as part of the final three.